What's going on, everybody? It's the Indoor Hunter, and today we are going to be talking about Great One grinding after the Great Update escapades. And if you're like, well, most of you out there, or a lot of you that are concerned about your Great One grinding, fear no more. I do think we may have ourselves a new meta figured out. Now, obviously, what I'm going to be showing you guys is not herd management, and I just want to make that clear now because you're going to be seeing me shoot some things, and I know I'm going to see some comments of why did you shoot the two, or why did you shoot that guy, or why are you shooting all of them, and we'll get to there. But just to clarify now, we are not herd managing. We are shooting as many animals as we can because now the way the game works is either by time or simply by getting more respawns. So prior to this update, in order to get your respawns back, you could simply back out to the menu, come back into the game, and your respawns would be there. Not anymore. That's not the case. And a lot of people have raised a big skunk about it, but I mean, us old school grinders, we were used to the game on how it worked. I'm going to show you how to do a quote old school grind, which honestly works so well. I think it's better than main menuing. It's faster, you get more kills. I can get about 200 kills in 3 hours, which is insane. Good luck trying to do that main menuing. That said, I will caveat, we haven't gotten a great one yet trying this method. We're about 400 kills into it, but the dime rate's pretty solid. We've gotten a few rares. Everything's pretty well squared away. But I would like to show you guys as we're grinding, just to kind of continuity here. I'm just going to do a run through without ending, without cutting anything, and just kind of see what happens. It's 13:38, so we are going to have to change time because it's a little bit past their drink time. We'll just change it back an hour. And we'll see what happens here. I am using the 300 just because, well, I'm Great One grinding, and I'm going to blow through this as fast as possible. We've got 2 level 3s out there. That back guy might actually be a level 2. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Because, like I said, we're not herd managing. He's a level 2. And the more of these guys we take down, every time we shoot something, that means one more thing's going to respawn. Meaning we don't ever have to back out. Ever. If you guys are really curious about this, go check out some of my live streams where we're grinding. I've got countless hours of where we literally just never back out once, and we're doing nothing but shooting fallow deer. Truth be told, it actually made me kind of addicted to fallow grinding again, because for some reason prior to this update, I liked it. It was fine, but it was just like, it was kind of remedial and boring. Honestly, it was just boring. But now I'm like, well, now I don't have to back out, and that not knowing what you're going to see when you respawn is there. I mean, there could be a rare, there could be a dime, there could be the great one. I don't know. It's actually, I look forward to it because like every time I spawn into a new zone, you literally have no idea what you're going to see. Now, obviously, you herd managers out there that have put a ton of time and effort into your herd management, don't worry. There is a workaround to this. Now, you're going to have to do a little bit more work. Basically, you're probably going to want more zones than you're used to shooting, and that's okay. You're going to have to kind of remanage that way, but it is confirmed at this point that herd management is still full in effect. They didn't change that whatsoever, so herd management is fine. Just add a couple more zones than you'd normally do, and you can continually get those respawns. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a hard number on exactly how many respawns you need to get in order for respawns to start populating. Obviously, that first run through that you do, the more you can get, the better. I really need to pay attention to how many kills I actually get in order to succeed, but kind of wounded that guy. What in the world? We're shooting him right in the head, I think. He's going down, though. Let's go ahead and fast travel on over here. Now, you'll notice my tent placement as well. So, some of you young guns that are really mad about your tent placements, 250 meters. It's the old school. It's the way I've always set up my grinds. You don't have to worry about spooking stuff. Now, obviously, this group we did spook, and that was planned. I'm somewhat confident in my shooting abilities, but drop that guy. We got this little squirt here as well. Got him. Now, let's go ahead and transition over. We got a big-looking dude back there. I'm hoping that's a 5. Probably not. That guy's down. What are you, sir? You're rather large. You're a big 4, not a dime potential 4. We got another male there I didn't notice. Got him. Just barely missed him. We're actually going to let him live just because I don't want to track him down. We're going to be lazy here. And again, I'm just trying to all at once here, no backing out. We're not going to edit anything. This is going to be a straight recording. So if there's some moments there where I'm quiet, I apologize. I just, for that proof of like, we're not backing out. We're not doing anything weird. Again, I highly encourage you if you really want to see a long playthrough. I mean, several of my streams for almost 4 hours straight, we're just banging out red deer and it's so much fun. I will say if this 4 ends up wrapping back around, by the time we get set back up to shoot these guys, I'm going to absolutely shoot that guy. But for now, let's go ahead and collect him, jump back up, and then obviously, you know, we're just making insane amounts of money doing this as well. Not quite sure how many kills we're in at this point, but we've been recording for 6 minutes, and we have... This is the first zone that we visited. Now, obviously, some zones are different than others. Your zones may not be as good as mine, or they may be better. I don't recommend shooting females. I haven't tested that yet because obviously the more deer you shoot, the faster your respawns get back. But I do know when you shoot females, things can get squirrely as far as where stuff ends up at. So I'm a little hesitant about doing that right now. Maybe in the future, once I do get this great one fallow, we may just experiment a little bit further with the respawns. But so far, my respawns have worked so flawlessly, I've not actually had to try to do it. But like I said, there are some of you out there that may have a zone that only has 1 or 2 fallow in it, and you're not going to get that many numbers. And so that's where things get weird. But what you can do is simply just go shoot other stuff. I actually want to try this method and set up 2 different grinds. I want to like shorten my grind to where I can grind red deer and fallow at the same time and just consistently get respawns in both and work toward both great ones. I think that might truly be the new meta, especially those maps that have multiple great ones like Leighton Lakes, like New England. You could set up potentially for all 3, keep them short and small and simple, but you're getting consistent respawns. You never have to back out. And what's nice is I can tell they fixed respawns because they're not hinking up. They're not getting weird. They're not disappearing on me. I don't have to do anything strange to get them to come back. All you got to do is shoot stuff. It's that simple. Now there is obviously homework. If you guys are just now starting to get into grinding, this isn't necessarily a great one grinding guide. But there's some things to keep note of. I would still suggest finding all your need zones. I know Expansive World says you don't need to do that, but I mean, I would do it just for peace of mind, because if you've got a group that disappears and you have no idea what happened to them, if you know where all your zones are, you know where to look. And it just makes things a little bit easier in that front. Not a requirement, but I would suggest doing it just because you know where stuff's at. Like I had mentioned earlier about your tent placement, those need to be minimum 250 meters from a need zone, because used to is because the animals wouldn't render in. That was a bug. They fixed that. And now it's for noise, because if your tents are closer than that, you're going to spook everything in sight. So 250 meters, you're good to go. Even 300 if you want to be safe rather than sorry. But any closer than that, you're obviously going to spook them. That said, if you're Johnny on the spot with a rifle and a tripod, you could still probably get away with grinding like you guys have always been grinding, with your tent right in the middle of a need zone. You're just going to have to shoot stuff on the run. I've not personally tried it, but honestly, it may be something to go for. That would make an interesting loadout case, because you would want to use something that, you know, is quick on the draw. You know, maybe like a handgun, something close range. I don't know. There's a lot to play with this, but I've after doing this now for several days, before I wanted to make a video, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't blowing smoke and I was... so for example, there we got those guys running. If I wasn't blabbermouthing, I probably could have schwacked him. He's gonna... Those 2 shots have unfortunately probably spooked these guys. Nope, they're still there. Got a little level 2, a little level 3. Let's go ahead and take him one round. Oh, he moved right when we pulled the trigger. This little 2 slows down. We've got the M1 out. We'll try to take him as well. Okay, we got him. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. But like I was saying, I wanted to make sure that this method for sure works, because back in the day when Call of the Wild came out, this is how you got respawns. And yeah, still works flawlessly. Works so good that I'm like, oh, main menuing honestly seems pointless now, because That's just a waste of time. You got to go through the load screen. Gotta go scroll down here and back. You're not gonna do that anymore. Don't have to worry about it. The other thing you do have to worry about is collecting your kills. That's the most important thing. The more you get, the more respawns you get. And so if you shoot a bunch of stuff and just let it go, you're not going to get respawns, and it's going to ruin your experience. So don't do that. Don't dirty grind. We've made videos on that in the past. We're not going to go too far into that, but obviously don't recommend it. I do want to try to do a full run through here. Again, I'm kind of blabbermouthing. I can get it down where we can run through a zone in 2 minutes or less, or through all of my zones in like 2 minutes or less. But some of these guys, obviously, when you wound them or make a bad shot, you got to go track them down, and that's annoying. But it's kind of helpful and beneficial because time also gets your respawns as well. I don't think anybody's figured out yet exactly how long in game you have to be before your first respawn will come just from time alone. But I'm sure this absolutely helps that moving forward. And because I'm lazy, we're going to fast travel into our tent instead of walking all that way. Where'd he go? There he is. So again, obviously we haven't backed out. We've only visited 2 zones so far, but we've gotten a lot of fallow on the ground. Now, I will say, because we're recording this without like editing or anything like that, we're just doing one straight shot. If we do run, if for some reason this is my lucky time and we have a great one, we're gonna save it. We're not gonna shoot it. I want to go live when we do that, but I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. Maybe, but I doubt it. Just in case though. So if you see a great one and me freak out, we're not shooting them this video. See what we got here. Got a little level 3, another little level 3. Still using the M1. It's pretty solid. At range, it does struggle just a little bit, as you can see here. Trying to get more rounds on target. Otherwise, we're going to be chasing this guy down for a while. Unfortunately, that looks like to be the case. Now, this is obviously a pretty common occurrence. If you're like me, a lot of my zones, I'm shooting 350 meters plus. And that's one of those things I would recommend. If you're not good at that, get good at it, because a lot of your zones, you're going to have to do that. Especially with this method, it would behoove you to set up your zones in a way that you can actually, like, even if you have to shoot 380 meters, if you can shoot 3 zones from that 380, that's better than, you know, setting up on one zone and doing that song and dance. But let's grab an ATV, go grab this guy. He shouldn't have gone that far. I do wish we had another semi-automatic 300. That way I can have 2 in the inventory and just immediately switch the second we're out on our magazine. But he went pretty far, but not that far. I'm kind of curious actually where we hit him at. Oh, well, that explains some things. We were using soft points, 30-06. Otherwise, we'd have heart punched that guy. Makes a lot of sense. Way past their drink time. But time change does benefit respawn, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's make sure nothing's standing here first. We got him leaving. See if a time change will get him back for us. Yeah, we got some deer here. Nothing too crazy. This is actually a zone for me that's actually a lot easier if I just jump over there. We'll try to do that now. Got a little bit of hunting pressure, but I'm not too worried about it. In theory, I should be able to get at least 1 or 2 more here as they're running away. I was going to say, unless, of course, he uses a female as a bodyguard. Got that guy. Hopefully we don't have a floater. There he is. If we do get a floater, we're going to do the 1 minute trick, which is you basically change time forward 1 minute. And in theory, if it works, it'll respawn the body on the shoreline and you don't have to wait 45 minutes to float across the lake. But sometimes it'll bite you in the butt and they'll just disappear. If that happens, the only way to get those respawns to come back is to actually hard reset the game. But, you know, 1 or 2 isn't going to kill you. I'll say too, with this method of not backing out, if you do notice your spawns aren't coming back, either you've not picked up all your harvests or you've actually spooked them, and it might actually work out better if you do main menu, because it'll get those spooked animals to come back. But you cannot get your respawns by main menuing. Yeah, you're going to try. That was a way high shot. I'm actually glad we missed that. We whiffed that hard. But again, we're going to try to shoot as many of these dudes as we can. This is all of my zones. This is one completion. We did this in about 15 minutes, which timing-wise isn't very good, but we did have to track that one guy down, and I've been blabbermouthing and whatnot. But we're getting harvests, and that's what's actually most important when it comes to Great One grinding. I know a lot of herd managers that have a lot of great ones, but I don't know if it's because of herd management or the fact that they're just constantly shooting, you know, whatever they're shooting to get a great one. It's always been preached that harvests or animals that you pick up count towards harvests, which is why dirty grinding doesn't work. So in theory, the more you pick up, the more chances you have of a great one spawning in. Now, obviously, herd management works really good for getting those diamonds. But I know people that herd manage hardcore that have seen, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of kills with no great ones. So I really don't think herd management has an effect. Oh, there we go. There's a guy we haven't picked up yet. I don't think it affects your great one spawns. So, you know, if you're just now starting to herd manage, I would almost recommend not doing that, because you're going to get diamonds. It's going to happen. See anything here yet? Again, we haven't backed out. We've been recording full on. I don't want to make this video take forever. Again, I'm going to keep referencing those live streams that I've done. We've got a couple respawns already here. That's what I wanted to show, that we did shoot this zone, and here we go. We've got respawns already. Shoot him. Shoot him. Oh, we're going to overshoot him. Now we're going to take him out. Going to jump on over here, pick those guys up. And I kind of want to do another quick little run through. There may not... your respawns will slow down a little bit, but it is what it is. I mean, slightly slower, you don't have to mess with backing out. It's pretty convenient, honestly. And again, you can do this if you're herd managing. You're just going to have to add a couple more zones. You're going to have to change some things. You're going to have to shoot a couple twos, change those into some big boys, and redirect kind of how you do it, but it's very possible, very doable. I personally don't herd manage, not because I don't like it, but because I simply don't have the time for it. You know, either I'm live streaming and trying to record content for, you know, various videos, kind of like now. I don't really have the time to go through and do all that. I very much admire those that do. It's incredible work. Shout out Rex. But I just don't have the time for it. So traditional grinding is much easier for me. And that's why I do it. Now, again, when it comes to great ones, it's 50-50. I mean, it's whether you're going to get them or not. So has no effect on the great ones. My diamond rate isn't the best in the world, but I'm not after diamonds. I'm after great ones. So a bunch of females hanging out. Those males have not respawned yet. That's okay. Now, we literally just shot this zone, so I don't think there's going to be anything here yet. You never know. Nothing. Kind of expected. And when I get to these zones that I see that they're not there, immediately I move on. I don't worry about changing time, because that's all fixed. If they're going to be there, or if they're supposed to be there, they're going to be there. That said, I haven't tested that on whitetail yet. I would like to, because whitetail are super annoying, or at least historically they always have been. Maybe now with this fix, whitetail are going to be awesome again, but we'll see. We got a couple threes. Now, I will say, when it gets to this moment, when you're in zones that don't have a lot of males in them, or you're starting to get to a lot of dry need zones, it's very important to start shooting as many males as you can. So I really should have shot that other 3. Unfortunately, whiffed it. We just might have to do a couple more run-throughs in order to get him to come back. But we got another spawn here. This should, and every time you pick a harvest up, another one's spawning in somewhere. We just got to find it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. We've been recording for 20 minutes. This is the second run through. I don't know if I articulated it or explained it perfectly well, but it's pretty easy and simple. Set up your zone like you would like any other grind. Set up more than you probably would if you're herd managing, and just shoot as many deer as you can, or whatever it is that you're grinding, whether that be, you know, bear, or red deer, or tar. I do think that tar is intentionally a hard great one to get, so that one, even with this method, still going to be tough. I could see where black bear might be a little complicated, but everything else, oh, we got another one that we forgot to pick up. That's why we're not getting stuff to spawn in, folks, because we got dead bodies out here. Again, that's the thing to look for. If your spawns just are not coming back, it's because you haven't picked up something. There's something dead out there that you got to go get. Run over here real quick, get this guy spawning back on the other side, see if anything's over there. Again, we just shot that zone, just shot 2 out of it. If there is something there, I'll be shocked, quite frankly, but you never know. Well, there's the females are back, but the boys have not respawned. Maybe perhaps they're here. I don't know. This is the part of the grind where I call it finding your respawn. You just got to find that one zone where they're at, shoot them, rinse, repeat. It is getting close to the end of the drink time, so I am going to change time. That could help spur along some things. Good, we're not giving up hope. Boom, there we go. We changed time. Looky there, we got males. Again, folks, 22 minutes. We've not backed out a single time. We've done nothing but shoot fallow. I'm curious if they are nervous. Pretty desperate for that, so we're going to try to put as many rounds on target as we can. Luckily for us, he's coming back this. Oh, we got another guy standing there. Didn't realize that. I don't... Slow down. Why are you not going down, sir? Am I using soft points as well to 300? Sheesh. Well, that's a terrible showcase of accuracy. But it's also important to get this guy down because I need those respawns. So we're gonna do what we can here to get this guy down. What in the heck is happening here? That's the third time we've shot him and he's finally going down. But in those instances, I mean, it is important to get that respawn. We want to get that going. Unfortunately, wasted like 15 rounds on him, but the price you pay, I guess, for terrible accuracy. Now, as far as what gun and stuff you guys want to use, I'm leaving that one up to you. I like using the 300 because most of the time you hit them once and they go down. In that instance, obviously, we shot him 5 times. And, well, he decided he didn't want to live. Let me make sure. Yeah, no, we've got poly tips equipped. It's like maybe we did what we did with the M1. Nope, we just tortured this guy before he went down. Yeah, basically, to make a long story short, in conclusion, folks, key points to remember. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, 250 meters minimum from your need zones. I personally like 260, 275. You're probably going to have to get used to shooting a little bit longer ranges. The more you shoot, the more you collect, the more respawns you get. You don't have to worry about main menuing at all. And yeah, hopefully this will help some of you guys that are a little gun shy after that change to show you that Great One grinding not only is possible, but kind of easy now. I honestly think it was easier than before this update because like I said, sometimes you would have to main menu and then your spawns wouldn't be there, and then you main menu again, then you'd hard reset the game, and then you'd get your stuff, and then you'd do a 2-minute run through, you back out, have to go through the, you know, loading screen again. It's just like, I don't know, honestly, the old way seems really annoying now. This works just so freaking well. Let's go one more zone, just one more. 25 minutes. I've held you guys long enough. If you're still here watching, I appreciate it, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments below of, you know, if you think it's completely, we've got nothing here. Basically, I'm just going to keep running through off stream, and hopefully our next live, you'll see the great one. But I digress. Like I said, let me know in the comments below, you know, if this new update ruined your grinding experience. If you had, hopefully this video can help you and make you realize that Great One grinding is still super easy, super doable, and super fun. So don't get discouraged, guys. Just adapt and change and get out there and get after it.